What's up, fam? What's up, guys? You might be excited to see what's going on. Here we are at CES, pretty much going over everything. As right now we're at the ASUS booth. Hopefully, you guys have a decent signal. Let me know if the signal is good or whatever. But I will certainly do some adjusting if that is the case. Now, there is some products that I am definitely excited to share with you guys, especially when it comes to ASUS. Now, for a lot of people out there that are interested in ASUS products, let me know what you would like to see, as they do feature a lot of new products that I would love to share with you guys that want to check out, say, their GPUs, their motherboards. Let's go ahead and take a look. Some of you might be interested in this whole ProArt lineup that they have currently going on with the ASUS and GoPro collaboration. So it gives you a little bit more fluidity if you are using something like a GoPro, and it will just immediately sync with something like an ASUS laptop. So they do have that option for you guys out there. ASUS does have quite a showing. It might be a relief for you because at least in the hardware space, when it comes from ASUS, you won't hear too much AI on this side. So hopefully you guys are excited to see a bit more, which we will be going to in depth. Now, I did get everything ready in 4K. So if you guys are ready for it, I will have it out by tonight. Instead of using the typical Gigabyte videos, instead of the Gigabyte video that I had released, it'll be an ASUS video that will be out later today as well. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the new products that you guys might be excited for, as we're going to go over here to the new style of ProArt. Now, you guys might be familiar with ProArt, especially for you creators and everything out there, or maybe you are you like to do 3D production and you do more of something along those lines. This might be a great option for you guys out there. Now, they do have the ProArt GeForce RTX 5090. This one's brand new. This has just recently been released here, as it does have some really nice features for those who are looking for a RTX 5090 in that similar style. Now, if you take a look up on the top, it has like a decent wood grain here. And then you take a look at back here, it does have the wonderful HDMI. And if you take a look at the display ports back here, it does have dual display port. What really differs on this RTX 5090 is that it does have Type-C and it does have HDMI 2.1. Take a look into the front here. This is the new design, which some of you may be looking for, which is a ProArt BA50. And on the ProArt BA50, it does have some improvements here, which is this one is it has two separate heat sinks here. It does have one up onto the top, it does have one onto the bottom compared to just a open space, and it does have a quick release for anyone that is curious, instead of having a buttonless release. What's up, Wasabi? What's going on? What's up, Zay? Here are the current updates with ASUS. If you are looking for a creator type of board, this might be what you are looking for. Now, what's especially interesting about this is one of the first GPUs where they're kind of bringing back USB-C once again. Here is at the back of the I/O plate if you are interested. And the aesthetics are really nice. It really seems like wood is really the new thing, guys. So if you're looking for like a wood design PC, it certainly can happen here. But this is a much more of a darker accent, which would match the ProArt aesthetic if that is what you are looking for. It does have the NitroPad tracing with this motherboard, and it does have USB-C. It does have multiple ports, and what I do like, if you take a look on the back of the I/O, on top of it, they actually moved everything towards the top, which is the display port and HDMI. It does have the BIOS flashback, and it does have your USB-C connection here, your USB-A connections. Of course, you have multiple USB-C connections there for up to 10 gigabits. And I do certainly like the new design, how they created with it down here with the USB 2.0. Everything just sits much more naturally and flush. You know what's pretty wild, guys? When you take a look right here with this PCI Express slide, they actually don't have it covered. So But yeah, so it's a really nice motherboard for those who are looking to get into more of a creative design. Now, here's another thing that I really want to show you guys is that there is a new TUF motherboard that you guys can take a look at. They actually have a glacial edition. So for those who are looking for something that is aesthetically pleasing, more of a white build, here it is right here. It does have the heatsink up here for the VRM, and it does have the M.2 quick release right here. It does have another new feature right here to keep your M.2 cool compared to having it just bare, because originally before you wouldn't really have anything there, and you would just have to make sure to have a cooler for it. Also, another thing that is also different about this specific model is if you take a look on the back of it there, it does have HDMI 2.1, just in case if something happens, and it does have the USB-C, USB-A, and of course your Wi-Fi 7, which is traditional connections. Yeah, they are. They're pretty amazingly tall. Wait till the case is actually right next to me, guys. So I definitely will show you that in just a bit. Some of you probably have seen pictures and seen ideas of it, but get to see it here live. Of course, feel free to ask any specific questions, and we can definitely certainly answer them, especially if you're looking for any specific product line when it comes from ASUS. Even this case is pretty tough. It's funny that it's called TUF because it's exactly what it is. It's a small form factor, has the USB-A connections up here, USB-C up to 5 gigabits, and it just matches aesthetically really well. And this is the TM500, guys. If you're interested, it does have like a RTX 5060, and it does have the RX 9060 XT. Is there? Yes. Yes, we will get there. Hopefully, as soon as I get further in the back, it doesn't get as crazy. But here is, now this is, of course, you guys might be familiar with this. This is the Rio Gym 4 that's in here, and it does have the Astral that is also connected in here as well. But we're just getting into the brink of things. This is just like a good start, I gotta say, for everything that I'm excited to show you, because we got everything in 4K, guys, which will certainly be releasing. Yes, Julian, there is some new OLEDs I could certainly show you, and we'll definitely go back over there, but that's like the case right there for you guys. So if you're curious about it, that's with the glass off, guys. Isn't that pretty wild looking? So we're going to go around. Yes, yeah, there is ultra wides. Here, let me show you guys. I'm going to spin around right here real quick and take a look at this. Hopefully I'm not getting in the way of anyone's film here. Okay, I don't think I am. So take a look here. This is a new panel for anyone that is looking for a 4K display. So this is the PG32 UCDM. This is the Gen 3 version of it. And what's interesting about this, it has actually deeper blacks and everything too. If you actually compare the panels, this is actually a Gen 1 panel that's over here. And right here is Gen 3. Now, if you actually go back and take a look compared to these panels, this actually looks quite a bit darker. And it also features a Black Shield film. So if you guys are not familiar with the Black Shield film, what that actually does is if you're wiping down the panel, there's always a possibility of micro scratching. It might not be noticeable, but over time, you'll start to notice the scratches. So what this new Black Shield technology does is it makes it much more scratch resistant for those who are certainly worried about damaging some sort of glass. So going here, for those who are looking for ultra wide, lucky you, they have one with QD OLED. So yes, so Samsung is coming out with their new displays. I know you guys are definitely excited for that. But right now we're on the ASUS showroom floor for those who are just tuning in. So here is the ROG Swift OLED PG34 WCDM. And what makes this really special and amazing is the fact that this actually has RGB stripe, and which makes it gives it much more clarity when you are, say, doing some sort of programming. I mean, if you look really close there, you can see how fine the textures are. So even the wording, there's like no real fringing, which is very typical of OLED. And they also, what's really good about this is for anyone that is into, say, any type of programming, or if you are more of, say, you you need sharp lines, especially say for if you're into production. This will certainly break that down into a much more detailed line, and it gives it much more color accuracy, which is pretty wild. Now, it's not going to be an insane difference because of it, but I can say it certainly shines a bit more. It's way more brighter. Take a look at how the reds are. Has Gigabyte had the new gigantic OLED? That I still got to get to the floor and find out. So far, we only stopped by ASUS. The next stop we will stop by is going to be over at Gigabyte and try to make it over to MSi too. So here you can see how clear that text is. They actually have a, so make sure they got to activate Windows there. Yeah, but if you see the difference, it looks something like, let me see if I can show you guys. So I'm gonna exit out of here, guys, so I can show you exactly what I mean. Right now they're just into Battlefield, so we're gonna go over here, not this. And I want to show you guys this. So typically the RGB stripe looks something like that. That's how it typically looks like. It has kind of a fuzz to it, but this gives it a much more defined line. You know, yeah, I'm going to be at Gigabyte next, and we will take a look over there as well. The good people over at Gigabyte. Pretty amazing stuff here. So if you are looking for a ultra-wide display, this might be a great option for you guys. And then, of course, for those who aren't going to OLED, they still produce IPS panels. So for those who want to go into something like 5K, they do have something like this here, where it does have absolute dual refresh rates. So you can go into 5K at 180 hertz, which is pretty wild. And they do have up to 330 QHD if you go into 4K. So it does have ELMB2, which is improved motion clarity, so it doesn't have any weird ghosting or anything when you are moving. But you can see how clear that is. So this, right now they got Monster Hunter's Wilds open. And here it is. The 5K XG27JCG, if you want to get all the details on the specifications. But yeah, it seems like a lot of people are certainly waiting for these new panels to come out. But I gotta say, they are exciting. So the thing is, when it comes to a lot of the ASUS panels, they actually have, they actually use either Samsung or LG when it comes to it. So depending on what you get. In fact, there goes the tool I was looking for that I really want to share with you guys. And hopefully we can see it through the camera. But I think he's pretty busy with that tool, so we'll come back to it. So we'll get, okay, so now we're a bit more clear on the side real quick. We will walk over to the next section, guys. As you can see, it's like a bit crazy, a bit mobbed. So it's definitely hard to get everything as we kind of get through this. So let's see, we will come back over there. But here goes the Xbox Ally, the traditional Xbox Ally, and they do have the Xbox Ally X. Of course, you guys are familiar with that. I actually brought mine along with me if you guys are curious about that. Let me squeeze by.
This is the same on the G6.
And take a look at this. If you guys didn't see that, that is a Wi-Fi 8 model that they are currently prototyping. So this is, I know everybody's like, I don't even got Wi-Fi 7 yet. What's going on, Amir? Yeah, so I actually asked that question. So what I was told is it has to do a lot with the different timings when depending on your silicon grade, and I'll definitely get into it a little bit more later. What's up? What's up, Bernard? What's going on? Yeah, so we'll get into it a little bit over there, but take a look at this. I want to show you guys the whole Kojima ASUS collab real quick while that clears up. For some of you that are curious about it, isn't that pretty dope? Yeah, so yeah, I got all the details for you, bro. So if you guys are curious about the whole Z13 flow, it's right here. Believe it or not, they actually use real carbon fiber. What you say for ProArt 59, it's really nice. It's actually a really nice card. we can go right back over it and we'll definitely check it back out again. They actually have quite an interesting everything that comes with the whole Kojima version of Z13 flow is quite interesting. They even have like the nice little covers there if you have a Z13. And here's actually, it's real carbon fiber, guys. It's not just like it's just not like a sticker that's thrown on there. It's actually real carbon fiber. Please interrogate. Okay, I will. Like when I get over there, I'll certainly interrogate them for you. Let me know if you have any specific questions. I will certainly ask it. And here's the bottom of the chassis. And they got even this like little cool briefcase. Kind of feels like the whole Metal Gear Solid vibe. Isn't that pretty dope? It has the little feet on it. And here it has the, and this is what it actually looks like here. And the details in the design are just really nice. We can play with it a little bit more once we get over to the next section, which is right over here. And he's right there. So is there a Corsair? No, unfortunately not. There isn't a Corsair stand. Just want to know if they got something up in the OLED. I believe they do. I think they do. And I will certainly update you guys on that side of it. So, and here is, they actually do have like the Keras 2 mouse for anybody interested in a new peripheral. The new adaptations that they do have for it. For those who are looking for the Kojima production type of look. And as you can see, it's pretty momped here, guys. Waiting for that to clear up a little bit. And then I'm definitely excited for you guys to check out all the other booths with us. So we'll get over to the motherboard side soon. Oh yeah, here we go. This is what I want to show you guys too, is the extra glasses. So if you guys are unfamiliar with it, I don't know if you guys got to see this, but this is pretty dope too. It actually doesn't run on a battery or anything like that. It actually runs via USB-C. So you can actually hook it up to your phone, and you can actually see something like as big as a 170-inch display. It actually produces up to 1080p. So since it produces that, it gives you that visual in each eye. See if you can kind of see it, right? You can kind of see it inside. But it's pretty amazing looking through it. So you can actually bring this as a travel companion, and it's actually very light. It's not heavy on your head. It's very comfortable to wear. Absolutely. Computex will definitely bring a lot of new things, I think, for sure. There are some interesting subjects that have been brought up, at least here. But you can actually look at this display, and it makes it appear to be like a much larger display as you're looking through there. So if you wear glasses, for example, if you wear prescription glasses, you can actually get this in a prescription, so you don't have to wear like double glasses in order to enjoy the full 170-inch experience. So you can take this with you on a flight, and you don't have to worry about it taking up battery. And I can't wait for something like this to appear. What's really interesting about this, the extra glasses, and the fact that if you are looking through these glasses, you see that screen that you see in there, you can actually make it stay. You can actually keep it specifically there. For example, if you got a dog or a cat you have to look at, or if you have a kid, you can actually keep that screen there, and as soon as you look over, you can actually see them clearly without having a display in your eyes. So it has that tech in there, so you can keep the display in front of you while you're looking at something else. So, and I don't believe they have really the pricing or anything for that just quite yet. But this is certainly interesting for anybody that travels a lot, or if you're in an area where you can't really comfortably fit a monitor. Again, this can display up to 1080p, and doesn't only display on something like just a phone. Oh, absolutely. I think this will be like the next thing. And it's very comfortable compared to wearing something like a MetaQuest. You can use something like the Xbox LAX and plug it in, and you can actually enjoy it, and it's full glory. So the reason why you see that TV that's right here on this display, they want you to actually wear these glasses, because when you actually wear these glasses, you can actually get to see it you can compare the size next to the TV. So when you're looking through it, it actually looks like you're looking at this really large display. It really looks like 170 inches, which is pretty wild. And then you look over to your right, and it's just like a regular small, typical 40, I'd say like 40-inch TV right there. So this shows the capabilities of wherever you go. You can certainly bring a large display without sacrificing any room, and it's all in these glasses. So certainly would love for this to come out. They are definitely prototyping different versions of it, which is certainly exciting. And hopefully you guys are excited for something like this tech too. Now, let's work our way over onto, I know you guys are a bit more interested in the PC hardware side. Of course, we can talk a little bit more when it comes to the PC hardware. Now, I know a lot of you are familiar with the NUC. Now, they did come out with what's called the ROG T70 mini PC. And instead of using a Intel processor, it's using a AMD processor. So you can actually enjoy something like a 9955 HX3D all in a small, tiny chassis. Especially for anybody that is like going to college, or maybe you don't really have large room for a PC in a room, or if you're in a dorm in college and you just need the space. Really? Oh wow, I just realized I got another tour coming up. So we'll actually come back to this, guys. I just wanted to fill you in, but there is so much more I want to show you. I just realized I got an appointment with somebody else I got to run over to. So I apologize for the sudden interruption, but I will definitely come back to show you more. Hopefully it's a bit more clear, but this is pretty dope, right? Very cyberpunkish. And let me see, so I got like 10 more minutes for sure, guys. So take a look at the motherboard right here, as it does have some interesting tech, especially when it comes to the new motherboards. This is actually something really exciting I'm going to share with you guys, and that's like the whole new Q connects that they actually have for their motherboards. So this is their Ryujin 4 that you might be already familiar with from last year. Now they do also have what is their new AIO, which is the SLC4. You might look at it and say, like, man, that's got to be pretty expensive. Look how nice that large display is, right? But the thing is, it's actually one of their mid-tier CPU coolers. So anybody can actually really have access to this and enjoy the full-out display. Now, what's interesting about this with this cooler is the fact that you don't have to hook up so many wires with it. In fact, it just uses a Q-Connect to a ASUS motherboard, and you have instant connection instead of compared to having to hook up up to 3 to 4 different wires in order for you to be able to enjoy this CPU cooler. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to fit into just like an ASUS motherboard, but it can also fit into other motherboards, such as, say, if you have an older ASUS motherboard, it can fit into it. Or maybe you don't have an ASUS motherboard, say you have a Gigabyte motherboard or an MSi motherboard, it can fit. The quality is excellent on them. It's pretty amazing, I gotta say. And if you take a look at the back of the I/O, this is what they certainly featured. They got the USB-C. I think the main reason why they have that featured up there now is, of course, for easier access, and it can be displayed out there. It moved a lot of their displays further up onto the motherboard now, and you have your typical USB-Cs, which is the 40 gigabit connections, the BIOS flashback, and of course you got the USB-A. It does have this. This is actually a very practical heatsink, which is pretty awesome. Not only does it look good aesthetically, but you can actually keep your PCI Express 5 M.2 cool. You know, it's pretty funny. I was speaking to ASUS on the subject, and they were actually considering something with like embedded memory. So instead of just having to worry about buying RAM, maybe a motherboard comes with 16 gigabytes. And if it comes with 16 gigabytes, maybe some people will be certainly happy with it. So you have a good X870E motherboard. I wait for better in Zen 6. Now, if you guys are curious, this does have a 64 megabyte BIOS, and there is a new update actually. This is going to be an exclusive look for you guys, which is pretty dope. This is like actually their BIOS here that they have updated. So it kind of looks probably a bit more similar to what Armory Crate looks like. Now, let me see. Let me go back here. Oh, I think it's back here, guys.
Let me help.
No.
I
Oh, yeah.
introduce the software.
Oh, the BIOS. I just wanted to show. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. All right, perfect. So this is the new BIOS, guys, that you can take a look at, and it looks a bit like Armory Crate. What's up, Simon? It's all right. We're about to actually go to Razer next, because I completely forgot I had an appointment with them upcoming. So we're about to leave like in about a minute or so. But this is a look on how the new BIOS looks like. So it's a lot more fluid, very easy to work with, and it makes it much more clear. So this is going to be pretty dope once this releases. And what I'm excited to show you guys in just a bit here, let's get back. I'll put one to display. The Q Connect, this is what I wanted to show you guys. So the new AIOs here, right? They have this new Q Connect technology where you can easily just hook it in just like that, right? You can put it into your motherboard and simply install it instead of having to worry about actually installing it with a bunch of wires. I know, like, when it comes to AIOs, that's like really a big pain with everybody, especially when it comes to installing AIOs. You have 3, 4, even 5 wires. Some AIOs are pretty wild when it comes down to something like that. But yeah, that is a DQ Connect design that they do have. But so let's take a look here. So big, yeah, it's nice, ain't it? The big feature is 64. Yes, guys, better wait for Zen 6 or you have to match my money. So this is the wild part here. So everything features NitroPath DDR5. So all the motherboards feature it, not just the mid-tier or high-end. Every motherboard now has that accessible. I see a bent pin from here. You see it? I can see it. Like, it's hurting my eyes. I looked at ASUS monitors and it seems like there's only one. Yeah, pretty much. There's one ultra wide that's currently there. If you take a look at the Glacier, this is their model here, which is, you can take a look here. It's pretty dope, right? Take a look at that. Now, I know Takuma's familiar with that RAM right there, and pretty neat stuff there. So you can actually hook it up vertically right there. And then you have your ASUS Astral and, of course, the magnetic fans. Now, what you can notice is if we zoom in here, you look next to the processor, that's where you would plug in the AIO. So you can easily plug in the AIO through here, and you have the instant compatibility. And again, it's a very practical use. And there is a new feature that they do have on the Hero Effect, which I will show you, which makes it a much easier, they did. So we're going to zoom out here real quick because I do want to show you this real quick. So they do have the quick release now for down here. So I know some of you guys are interested in it, and it actually compresses it enough to take advantage of the thermal paste. So you just pop this open here, you can lift it, and here it is. You can have access that easy. And now all you have to do is plug it back in, and it latches right back in. So we'll definitely come back, guys. There's going to be so much more content tonight for you guys. It'll be releasing as soon as I get back to the hotel. I'll work on it so you guys can see it. Right now, we're going to run over to Razer, and as soon as we do, we will come back. And if you guys are just coming in, hopefully you guys are excited for ASUS's releases. This is just like a sneak preview to let you know what is going on with ASUS and what they have for show. I'm really excited for the new motherboards, their new GPUs, the new ProArt lineup that they do have. So we will catch you guys on the flip side. Thank you guys all for coming in. Will they drop? Yes. That's the thing. They did drop some, but I did mention it a bit earlier, and I will also have it on video later tonight for you guys. Make sure to catch the content as soon as I'll let you guys know exactly when. I'll put a post and up on Twitter, and I'll also put it up on Discord for you guys. I'll also put it up on YouTube. So thank you guys for all coming in, as I got to run over to Razer. Thanks so much, guys, for coming in, and we will talk soon.